My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The biggest sporting event on the planet is here. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is on the way. Join me, Elio Piedra, every Sunday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. for the road to the World Cup. From shocking results to the biggest matchups ahead, we have got you covered every week of the tournament. The road to the World Cup. Every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 a.m. and the WRUF mobile app. Watch the show on YouTube and Facebook at WRUF Home of the Gators.
Around here, your trailer works just as hard as your truck. That's why folks across Ocala and the Southeast trust Triple Crown Trailers, the original and largest mass producer of trailers in the region. From gooseneck trailers to utility trailers and equipment trailers, Triple Crown builds them tough, right here at home. Need maintenance or new running gear? They specialize in installation and service to keep you rolling. And don't forget their retail store for all the parts and accessories you need. Triple Crown Trailers. Built here. Live here. Visit triplecrowntrailers.com.
A medical emergency can change your life in an instant. And Advent Health's ER experts have one priority: you. Afterwards, the care doesn't stop. What comes next matters just as much. The choices, the milestones, the living. Because here, second chances are just the beginning. Florida's leader in heart and stroke care. TheERexperts.com.
At Odyssey, we believe in creating a diverse and inclusive workforce. We also value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be notified of all our open positions. That's equalemployment@odyssey.com. And for all our listeners, please visit odysseyinc.com/careers for a list of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Light, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Weeby Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, B&D Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
It is time to eat some lunch and talk some sports. Welcome into a Tuesday edition of Sports Scene. Tyler will mash the buttons, make sure everything is sounding good. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to join us. We are getting into that time of the year when the topics to talk about sort of dwindle. But how about Oklahoma in the College World Series? They are, just like Troy, a red-hot team, and they knock off Georgia. So how about them Sooners? Give them a lot of credit for doing that. Today, Sean Devaney, who's been with us throughout most of the NBA playoffs from Heavy.com, will wrap up the NBA season and look ahead to the upcoming draft. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to talk to Kevin, but there are reports that the Celtics are possibly looking at Giannis. Yeah. Who would you get rid of if you did that? That's what I'd like to know. But anyway, we'll see. I looked at the Knicks. They have 2 draft choices, but I think they're both in the second round. But anyway, also today, what I mentioned the other day, and I'm not ashamed to say it, when I was watching the Knicks clinch, I all of a sudden felt tears running down my cheeks. I was crying. I wasn't sobbing, but I was emotional about that. So my buddy Tony emailed and he said, this might be a good topic. And he's right. So as you call in today, or however you're going to be with us, sports moments that made you cry. Got any? Yeah. Sports moments that made you cry. Today, we are fueled, as always, by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. When you go see them in person, you know what to do. Tell them we sent you. Tell them Sports Scene sent you. Coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, because they can do just about anything to light up your pool deck, your yard, your home, landscaping areas. They do a great job. Pool enclosures. If you got a business, they can help light that up as well, make it look good. Decks, landscape lighting, the whole deal. Full color systems, fully programmable right from your phone. GatorTrimLight.com. You can find out more. You want to text? Tyler can handle that. 352-325-3777. That's our B&D Electric text line. Those folks are pros. Reliable electrical service you can trust. You can schedule at bdelectric.com. Our first hour brought to you by our friends at Quality Plumbing. When you need a quality plumber, rely on the same company that Gainesville's trusted for over 40 years, since 1984. Quality Plumbing, their name says it all. All of our guests on the show come to you courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Meldon Law won't back down. And all of our phone calls, that's the phone line, 392-8255, courtesy of Titan MRI and Imaging. You can call them for the best MRI and affordable prices. Find out more at titanmri.com. The emails, you know that, srussell@wruf.com, courtesy of International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. They've got an assortment of fine jewelry, ladies and gentlemen. Designer engagement rings, wedding bands, you name it, they got it. International Diamond Center. And if you have a YouTube question, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union, we'll take those. That's where Coach Spurrier does his banking, serving our community for 90 years. And our Facebook Live questions come to us courtesy of Ruse Ogra State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. Some emails left over from yesterday, couldn't get to them. Adam, what would be your Mount Rushmore for Gator baseball position players? I may have some recent bias, but I have Jack, Wyatt, Wilkerson, and Laporta. So many great players, but he has to be the fourth. Eckstein, Alonzo, Ross, Tucker, anybody for the 2017 championship team that could be considered for that list. Yes, but I think the people you named are, probably who most people would pick. Again, Mount Rushmore, 4 people, right? But we can talk about that. Dustin, I was waiting for this. Sports moments that made him cry. Team USA hockey, winning in 1980. I did too. Not as much as the Knicks, but I did too. Peyton emails, is college baseball historically a West Coast sport? Historically? Yeah, I guess. If you look at old days, there were a lot of teams, USC, the Anteaters, UCLA, Arizona State, Arizona, that went to the College World Series. He says, it's recently been Southern schools dominating, but Fullerton, Pepperdine have had their dynasties. Yes, they have. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Byron, hello.
Hey, Steve. Steve, I hadn't called in a few days, and I'll get to my Knicks stuff. But first, I want to just say, Steve, the reason my grandson, I'm going to shout him out, and I want to shout the military, Steve, if I'm not getting off. But, man, to my Navy boys and my grandson graduating A school, I'm tearing up almost in the Coast Guard and going to Seattle. So, yeah, man, that's why I've been kind of out of it. But let me try to keep going, Steve, with this. Steve, I want to just say real quick that he's in South Carolina. I went to college there. And, man, Troy, I want to give them a shout-out. Man, you better be careful scheduling at Coastal Carolina, Southern Miss. Man, those small colleges now, the ones, and I didn't play against those as many as I did some of the traditional black colleges, and shout them out too. But, man, you better be careful playing anybody now. And, Steve, I tell you that college baseball World Series is some great stuff. And shout out to your Knicks, Steve. I want to say this too, Steve, jokingly. When I was about 6'7", which that's what I listed, and somebody like Brunson, Frank, Eddie Griffin, Eddie, they played in Wake Forest. I'm having a brain, but Frank and Eddie, those guys, people would laugh. And so to all people who think a 6'2" guard cannot score on Wemby or anybody, but, man, Brunson, shout out to him, Steve, and shout out to your Knicks, man. I kind of been on the bandwagon, and what a great thing to see for sports, man, the NBA. And, Steve, I'm looking forward to it. And real quick, Steve, Jacksonville in the training camp, if you got anything about your Jets and the Jags, man, I can know about maybe even Hunter, man, but let me know, man. Thanks, Steve. Go Gators.
Byron, thank you. You missed Mike DiRocco the other day, who's been covering the Jags. He, look, it's training camp. It's mini camp. There's no big deals coming out of these camps at this time. But look, for coaches and, some players trying to make an impression, big deal. BB yesterday hated to see Ole Miss lose, but I was pulling for Troy to win. I didn't know when they would ever be back, and winning at least once now would show they belonged. Yeah. I mean, had they gone out and not won a game, it wouldn't have taken off the luster of the season that they've had. This just, accentuates it, I guess, winning a game there. Greg yesterday said about the On Deck show. He said, thanks a lot for the show. I learned a lot about baseball listening to the show. We had a lot of fun, Greg, doing that, and thank you for that. Daryl, moments that made him cry when his late wife was battling cancer and we beat Georgia in football because she hated them, just like he does. Okay? Mike, winning the SEC in '84, called my dad from the pay phone at the Gator track before the celebration. Brian emails, the Georgia OU game was one of the best I've seen all year. Was thinking the Dogs were going to get it done in the ninth when the player of the year at bat. Yep, he got Jackson out. Who do you see coming out of the two loser bracket games tonight? Who do you have in the finals? As long as it's not Georgia, I'll be fine. I'm taking Texas versus Carolina. That's a pretty good pick. I like Carolina. Sports moments that made me cry, seeing Ripken break the consecutive game streak played. I was young. I do remember how so many said it was a record that would never be broken. It's funny how that works. When Tony suggested this topic, it's a cool topic. But I guess Ripken did not make me cry. I was like, wow, look at that accomplishment. But I didn't get all emotional. Probably the most emotional outside the Knicks was 1980. No doubt. And it was so long ago Well, I take that back. I was pretty geeked when the Mets won, but I was young. And the Mets had only been in existence for, 7 years? So, let's see. Moment from Andy. Facebook Live question, courtesy of Rose Ogre State Farm. Moments that made him cry. The 96 UF Natty. The Bucks' first Super Bowl. Coaching my first youth Super Bowl. Most memorable time I saw an entire bar full of men crying was in Key West when the Dolphins and Marino lost the Super Bowl. I'll tell you, coaching when I cried, when we won back-to-back middle school football championships. And the second one, because I knew it was going to be my last one. I knew I wasn't going to coach after that. And that was pretty special. Anyway, good topic. We'll continue it. But first, we're going to bring in Sean Devaney to talk and wrap up NBA look ahead to the draft. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. Former Gators golfers Billy Horschel and Ricky Castillo finished in the money at the PGA Tour's Canadian Open. Horschel ended T15 at 10 under and took home just under $190,000. Castillo was T45 at 5 under and pocketed just over $30,000. Tonight, the Rays play the second game of their 3-game series versus the LA Dodgers. Tampa is currently seeking to regain momentum after their 4-3 loss yesterday, pioneered by a Miguel Rojas homer in the 7th. In their last 10 games, the Rays are 5-5. And with a win tonight, they will bring the Rays' win total to 41. WRUF will host full coverage of tonight's game at 9:30. Gator Baseball have hired a new pitching coach by the name of Rich Dorman. In his 7 years with Oregon State, Dorman developed over 10 All-American pitchers. For more, read on WRUF.com.
Hey folks, it's Steve Russell for my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. They've been in business for over 45 years. That in itself says a whole lot. Take a look around you when you drive. Take a look at the car in front of you, alongside of you. There's a really good chance it'll have a Southeast Car Agency tag, just like my vehicle does, and many vehicles before that have as well. When you go see them in person, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you to the good people at Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
P.F. Chang's Gainesville is serving up incredible lunch specials starting at just $11.99. So if you're in the mood for Asian fusion cuisine, stop in for lunch today. And don't miss happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. with $5.99 beers, $6.99 wines, and $8.99 cocktails. Make your next lunch or afternoon unwind unforgettable at P.F. Chang's Gainesville, your destination for lunch and happy hour.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their gamberi salento, shrimp, fresh tomatoes, and zucchini sauteed in garlic and oil with penne pasta and Romano cheese.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Soccer Sticker Fever is here at Miapa. Every Wednesday from 4 to 9 p.m., bring the family for Soccer Sticker Trading Night. Trade the stickers you're missing, pick up albums and sticker packs, and connect with fellow collectors. And kids ages 3 to 10 eat free with a paid adult entree. While the kids enjoy dinner, treat yourself to the best Cuban food north of Miami and delicious Cuban coffee at any of our 6 convenient locations. Miapa Soccer Sticker Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, 4 to 9 p.m.
Hey Gainesville, tired of big banks that don't know your name? Meet GalaBank. Locally owned, locally operated. With over 350 years of combined experience, we're here to help our neighbors, not just customers. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets, and anyone can cash a check on us. No extra charge. Local bank, local people. GalaBank. Find us at 7515 West University Avenue off Tower Road. GalaBank. Member FDIC.
Connecting with WRUF at Sports Scene just got easier. Call, email, watch on YouTube or Facebook Live. And now text us on the B&D Electric text line at 352-325-3777. That's 352-325-3777. Gator baseball fans, don't miss On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardozo live every Monday at 1 on WRUF. Get baseball and softball breakdowns, player analysis, and SEC previews. Listen live or anytime on the WRUF app, YouTube, or Facebook. On Deck, it's a hit.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey man, what's Hard Rock Bet giving you players?
If you win your first $5 bet, you get $150 in bonus bets.
$750. ¿Cuánto?
Oh, was that Ronaldinho? Sounds like his first bet scored.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New customers bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
If it happens in Gator Nation, you hear it on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. Let us go now to our Titan MRI and imaging phone line. Again, all our guests, courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Friend of the show, has been with us for a lot of the NBA playoffs. Sean Devaney from Heavy.com is here to wrap it up and look ahead to the draft and maybe some other things. Sean, first of all, always thank you for doing this. Let me ask this question because I don't know the answer to this. One of the topics that I've had on my show here is whether or not athletes should shake hands after games. Does the NBA have a rule of that?
No, there's no firm rule of that. I think it's just sort of a courtesy kind of thing. And I am certainly of the mind that in most situations, in most games, it happens, and it's really not a big deal. But I also think that there's times where things are so emotional and there's such frustration that, I know for me, there's times where it's best to just walk away, and that's true of NBA players as well. So, yeah, no, there's no firm rule on it, but, it is tradition. At the same time, if a player decides they don't want to do that, I don't really have a problem with it.
Well, now with the regular season, or with the season over now, we look ahead to the draft. How deep or good do you think this draft is?
Well, I mean, there's definitely tiers to it. So there's sort of the first three guys, Dybanza, Peterson, and Boozer. I have to think every single time I say Cameron Boozer not to call him Carlos Boozer because that's how old I am, Steve.
Oh, I hear you.
So, but you've got those three as the top, and then you've got the fourth pick is expected to be Caleb Wilson, who had sort of an injury-prone season at North Carolina, but certainly showed enough to where he's pretty solidly in there at number 4. And then you've got a whole bunch of point guards, and that's where things get interesting. How will teams rank the point guards that come next? And which teams will be willing to stretch for a player who's not a point guard in that sort of 5 through 12 range. That's going to be interesting as well. So that's sort of the way this sets up. But you could go and you can look, and you'll be able to get a player at number 20, at number 22. I mean, there's a lot of depth in this draft, no question.
Along with the draft, there are possible trades, free agents, etc. Giannis is up there. The status of LeBron is up there. Let's take Giannis first. There's a rumor the Celtics have made an offer for him. Do you think there are a number of teams that are serious about this, or has it dwindled down to maybe 2 or 3 real suitors?
I think it has dwindled. I think a lot of teams would like to be serious about it, but don't forget, Giannis has 1 year after this on his contract, so he's up for an extension. So he's got some power in all this because he can say, you can trade for me, but I'm not signing an extension there, and teams don't generally like to do that. It's not to say a team won't. You think of Toronto in 2019 when they got Kawhi Leonard.
Yep.
They had no assurance that he was going to sign an extension, and he didn't sign an extension. They still won a championship. I don't think they regret that. So there could be a team that sweeps in and tries to get Giannis on those kinds of terms. But as it stands, there's only a few teams that it looks like he would sign an extension with, and certainly Boston is one of them, and Miami is another. So that's why those are the teams that are. It seems like he wants to stay on the East Coast. So teams like the Warriors and Lakers are not really in this. But at this point, it looks like the Celtics and the Heat are clearly the front runners here.
You've got other big names, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden's situation. Do you expect some big names to move as well besides Giannis?
I do, but I do expect Giannis to be first, and there's no question there's other talks going on, but Miami is going to be a focal point because if they don't get Giannis, then they're going to then look around and they're going to make an offer for Kawhi. They're going to make an offer for Ja Morant. So they're sort of the team that everybody's waiting on at this point. And once Giannis makes a decision, or once the Bucks make a decision on trading Giannis and where he's going to go, that will sort of change the calculus for everybody else. But yeah, there's going to be other names that get talked about. Trey Murphy in New Orleans, who's maybe not a household name, but will be if he winds up in a better situation than where he's been. He's that talented, so he's certainly somebody to look out for. I'm curious about a lot of the restricted free agents. What happens with them, like a Jalen Duren and Walker Kessler in Utah. So there's a lot of names that are going to be out there. It's going to be a very, very busy few weeks in the NBA, no question.
Sean Devaney joining us here from Heavy.com, wrapping up the regular the season for the NBA, and now looking ahead to the draft and to free agency. I'm always confused by these dates, Sean, but as far as LeBron is concerned, what are some key dates to keep in mind here that might decide his future?
Well, I mean, June 30th is the opening of free agency, and that's going to be the big thing. This is the first time that LeBron is a pure free agent. He's not looking at. He doesn't have an option year, which is usually how he likes to do his contracts. But this is one that both he and the Lakers decided to play it out. So he's an unrestricted free agent. So there's no, he doesn't have to tell the Lakers whether he's opting in or none of that applies to him. He's basically going to be an unrestricted free agent on June 30th. The day after the finals, which was Sunday, the Lakers are able to start talking to their own free agents. So they've begun that process. Now, remember, it's not just LeBron for them. It's also Austin Reeves.
Yes.
They've got to deal with trying to get a contract for him, and that's going to be very, very expensive. And they've got other guys. Rui Hachimura is a free agent. Luke Kennard is a free agent. They want to bring all those guys back. But they've got a lot of balls in the air in terms of what they're trying to juggle here. So so for LeBron, free agency will hit on June 30th. I think the Lakers would try to work something out with him before that, so that they have some clarity in terms of what they're going to do.
Let me end with this. Just looking at the rosters of the Spurs and OKC, and by God, look at the draft choices OKC has. It's crazy. Yeah. They can now look. I don't know what their apron is and all that, but I mean they have the ability to be good for a long time if they do it right here. Let's take the Knicks. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're approaching the second apron. Do they have the ability to maneuver the roster to keep a championship roster together?
No, I mean, that's the plain answer. When you look at the reason that we've seen, I think it's 9 different champions in a row here, which is not typical for the NBA, where you have a different champion each year. We're used to dynasties in the NBA, but the reason for that is the second apron and the first apron and all the luxury tax rules that they've put in. And the the Knicks are operating in a situation where all this stuff is going to keep hitting them, and they're going to have to get rid of somebody sooner or later, and they're not going to be able to really add pieces because of where they are in terms of the apron. So the Knicks won't be able to do that. You mentioned the Spurs and the Thunder. They will, because A, they're young, and they've got some guys still on rookie contracts, and then B, both of those teams, the Spurs have a bunch of picks too.
Yes.
And certainly the Thunder have more, but they'll be able to replenish. If they let somebody go, if they lose Lou Dort, for instance, they'll be able to bring somebody else in on a rookie contract who can replace him. That's what kind of separates both of those two teams right now.
Last thing, outside of who we just mentioned, Sean, because I love OKC, I love the Spurs, and obviously, my Knicks, but take those away, and this may depend on trades and, whatever, but give me a couple of teams that you like, if they make the right moves, could be real contenders next year besides the 3 I mentioned.
Well, I think the Celtics could get right back into it, especially if they make a Giannis trade. I think, they don't really want to give up Jaylen Brown, but I think if they do that and they bring in Giannis, I think that gives them a better window in the short term, not the long term. Of course, he's 31 and he's got some injury things for sure. But I think the Celtics could really get right back into it. I think the team that we've all forgotten about was in the finals last year, and that was the Indiana Pacers. They'll get Halliburton back. Yeah. They've got some flexibility. They got Ivica Zubac in that midseason trade with the Clippers. They're going to be pretty formidable next year. So I would say, I want to see some more depth added. I want to see a little bit raising the bar in terms of their talent. But I think the Pacers can get right back into this as well.
I'm glad you mentioned him. Andrew Nembhard, Gator guy, is there, and they went from really good to awful because of injuries, but they can be really good again. Shauna, I just want to personally say to you, thank you for being on all year long. I love your knowledge, and I know people who are listening love it as well, and I appreciate you taking the time. And again, let people know where they can see your work.
We'll be at heavy.com. We got draft. We got post Knicks Championship stuff. We've got free agency. We've got trades. Everything's happening right now, so it's a great time.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
You got it. Knows his stuff. Sean Devaney, been covering the NBA for a long time. Okay. Later on today, we will have Derek Scott, play-by-play voice of South Carolina. They have a new baseball coach, and he's going to tell you who it is, and it's going to be a very interesting choice when it comes to what Gator fans will look at. By the way, Eli Blair has entered the portal for Florida, lefty, young pitcher. And they had, correct me if I'm wrong here, somebody can fact check me. They had, I think, 5 young lefties, Miller, all that. And I think they've lost 4 of them. I know Hoyt is coming back, but I believe that's the only one. So anyway, just wanted to pass that along. We'll take a break, come back, and then, again, if you're just tuning in today, give me a sports moment for you that made you cry, like my Knicks winning made me cry. We can talk about whatever else as well. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trimlight Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
Gator football returns September 5th, right here on WRUF.
Summer is here. This summer, don't let pain or lingering injuries hold you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Summer's back, and so is IDC's most popular offer ever. 0% financing for 5 years. Now through June 30th, you can make any purchase at International Diamond Center and spread your payments out to 2031 without paying a dime in interest. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. International Diamond Center at Celebration Point. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com on approved credit.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
If you're looking for premium, high-quality food served in an unforgettable atmosphere, you're going to love brunch at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
This is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet.
Complete with build-your-own omelet station, served every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Reservations are encouraged, and walk-ins are always welcome.
Plus, you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Foodies, this is not a drill. Sensei Asian Bistro is now open in Celebration Point, right next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, and it's bringing bold Japanese French fusion flavors you won't find anywhere else. We're talking smoked New York strip, rich matcha curry, melt-in-your-mouth Chilean sea bass, and the fan-favorite Chunggang chili chicken. Feeling adventurous? Dive into fresh crudo oysters or treat yourself to A5 Wagyu tataki. Add in handcrafted cocktails, and you've got your next night out covered. Sensei Asian Bistro. Come hungry, leave impressed.
Gator football returns September 5th, right here on WRUF.
Welcome back to Sports Scene as we wind things down here this month. By the way, later in the week, Blake Alderman is going to join us here to talk about Gator football recruiting. They have just lit it up on the recruiting trail, so he'll talk to us later on in the week. And we hope to have Florida women's basketball coach Tammy Reese here tomorrow live in the studio in the 1 o'clock hour. We had booked that, and we are hopeful that she'll be here for a couple of segments and certainly be able to talk with you, and you can ask questions and give your comments. Wesley, I think it's Wesley, for Sports Moments That Made You Cry, when D. Gordon homered the game after Jose Fernandez passed away. Marlins fan, must be. Facebook Live question, and again, it'll come to you courtesy of Ruse Ogre State Farm. Trevor, I'm not sure how much you keep up with the World Cup, but the U.S. has got me excited for a potential deep run in the knockout stage. They played really well against Paraguay. I mean, give it up for that, right? Do you think the U.S. will advance further than they did in the last World Cup in the round of 16? That's sort of the wasn't it 2002 they made their run, or 2004? Maybe Tyler can help me with that because I'm not an expert when it comes to the World Cup, but I believe that's when the U.S. made a really good run. YouTube question, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. I'm happy with how the Brendan Sorsby fiasco ended. Are you? Yes. Yes. Look, you know what this reminds me of? Art Schlichter. Remember him? Gambling. Look, that's an addiction. And you always want to have somebody get help. And I hope Sorsby does. And it's interesting, when you look at what scouts say about him, you know, he's going to go in the supplemental draft. There's a lot of people who are very high on him. So, yeah, I think it certainly takes away, you know, some issues that could arise here at the college level, and it's probably best for him. International Diamond Center email, Stewart, 2004, I cried with my father in Connecticut when the Red Sox won the World Series. Vindication from 67. We went to 2 home games at Fenway. Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's funny. What goes through your head when you see your team win, and then the memories of, you know, the ones they won in the past, and maybe the next, I don't know, a couple of weeks, maybe just sports events, because I am not a Red Sox fan, never have been a Red Sox fan, but I always liked Yaz. Always liked him. Got to actually interview him. It was great. But that the Impossible Dream year, you know, I was a kid, but I thought it was pretty cool. This had been so long for the Red Sox, and the Mets weren't any good. They still hadn't gotten to 69 yet. So it was kind of fun with that. And it's funny, I was trying to think, you know, Lonborg was the big stud on the mound. But, you know, Rico Petrocelli and, you know, Yaz in left field and all that, pretty good. Let's see. John emails. He says, were there any other sporting events that made you cry? 1980 did. It probably more than the Knicks. I mean, that was USA, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. When you root for a team, it's great. But when you're rooting for your country and you see them pull that off, I was crying like a baby. I couldn't, you know, who could believe that? I mean, that run probably is I don't know. I don't want to say biggest or best, but I mean, it's pretty damn close. It's hard to top that, certainly. We've had exactly one phone call today to talk sports. I kind of had a feeling it was going to be like that. That's what happens when you get to the middle of June. That's why I tried to get, you know, sporting events that make you cry. I'm going to come up with something else here pretty soon. If not, it's going to be a long day. But let me know, and we'll go from there. Did you ever look that up? Was that 2002, Tyler? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Made the quarterfinals. Yeah, I thought it was either 2. So, yeah, they have a chance. I mean, look, you can play really well in one match and not play well in another, but I don't think anybody, and I know nothing about Paraguay, but I don't know that anybody thought they would beat them 4-1. So that does present hope, no doubt. Let's see. Robert emails. He goes, I'm not in a crying mood today, Steve. LOL. Okay. But he does say, I heard you and Jeff yesterday talk about Florida's baseball season and if it was successful or not. Maybe I misunderstood you. Do you think it was a successful season? You know, maybe someday, another topic here before we exit the summer is this. How do you judge a season? How do you judge it? Here's where I think Florida's season was successful. First of all, they were a top 8 national seed. That's hard to do. That's hard to do. So you got to be good in your league, all of that. That was a positive thing. But it gets overshadowed because you lost at home, and the path to a super regional and the path to Omaha looked like the yellow brick road. And I get the fact more and more people today judge success by the bottom line. Did they make it to Omaha? How far did they go? It isn't about the journey. And I get that. So, I don't know. But anyway, I think it's changed. I think there's so much more pressure now from media, from fans. Social media has changed everything. Everything. And I think that it's the bottom line result that is how you get judged. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Marshall is there. Marshall, hi.
The time that next year finally showed up, Kentucky game, 1984, when Adrian, now I can't remember his last name, the kid from Orange Park that was a defensive back, intercepted a pass that guaranteed we won the game, and that meant that we were SEC champions.
Was that Adrian White?
Adrian White, thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, I look, again, because I'm old, I don't think people, especially younger fans, realize what a big deal 84 was. Because it was the first. It was the first. And, yes, we all know what happened. But I remember the plane flying over the stadium, just the euphoria of that. And I think that it should be restored, but we'll see if that ever happens. But yeah, I hear you, Marshall. If you're old enough to remember that, Florida it's hard to believe now, but you look back and Florida had never won an SEC football championship to that point. Pretty special.
And it wasn't something that was on general TV for everybody.
No, not at all.
We had gone with two other couples down to Gainesville, and we were watching the game in the Orange and Brew. And as soon as the game was over, we're going, hey, they're going to go to the stadium. We're getting rooms upstairs. We got rooms upstairs. We walked to our windows. You could hear the screaming and yelling and horns honking from over on University, from the Union. So, yes, it was exciting. It was exciting to be in that stadium that night. And for all those that never got to experience it, I think it meant even more. And that was the really old guys, much older than you and me. So thank you very much, sir.
Okay, Marshall, thank you. Yeah, got emotional just talk. Look, now you take for granted, right, because of the SECs that Coach Spurrier won and, Urban won and all of that. But the first is always special. And I'm going to tell you what, if you're younger, go look at the rosters of the 84 and 85 teams and see how many of those dudes played in the NFL. A ton. Now, we can all, argue about how they got here and what they got to come here, but just from a pure talent standpoint, that was a loaded 8485 group. We'll take a break, come back. We'll take more of your questions, calls, and comments. In case you're just tuning in, one of the things I've talked about today, what sporting event made you cry? And if not, let's talk some other sports here on Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. Tonight the Rays continue their triple-header in LA versus the Dodgers. In yesterday's encounter, a Miguel Rojas homer late in the 7th got the edge over the Rays 4-3. Over the last 10 games, the Rays have struggled to find a steady rhythm, winning 5 of their last 10. For full coverage of tonight's game, tune in on WRUF.com. Florida football lost a 4-star recruit to Georgia over the weekend. Kennedy Jackson, who committed to the Gators just over a week ago, paid a visit to Athens this weekend and decided it was a better fit for him than Gainesville. Despite losing Jackson, Florida is still considered to have one of the strongest group of line recruits in the country. Former Gators golfer Billy Horschel had a rough start to the final round of the RBC Canadian Open, which costed him a shot at the title. Horschel bogeyed 2 of his first 3 holes and finished 3 shots back of winner Bud Cauley at T15. For more Gator sports, read on WRUF.com.
At International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
It's the Battle of the Trucks at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. The Chevy Silverado 1500 strikes first with 0% financing for 60 months. The 26 GMC Sierra strikes back with 0% financing for 60 months plus no monthly payments for 130 days. Come see us today at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $69.99 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and dock. $16.66 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
When you're ready to roll up your sleeves or open new doors for the next generation. When you're ready to give your time where it matters most and put your heart behind every handshake. Radiant Credit Union is ready too. With partnerships, programs, and people dedicated to building stronger communities together, helping our community shine. Radiant Credit Union. When you're ready, let's get started.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Clouds and sun for us today. High temperatures in the low 90s. Feels like temperatures near 100. A breeze gusting to 20 miles an hour at times this afternoon. Numerous showers and thunderstorms along the I-10 corridor this afternoon and evening, and farther south, scattered storms developing along the Gulf Coast and tracking eastward toward the Atlantic. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF. 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Couple of programming notes. First, Rays baseball tonight at the Los Angeles Dodgers. Coverage begins at 9:30. And then tomorrow afternoon, final game of the road trip begins at 2:30. And Thursday at 3 p.m., make sure you are listening. You should always listen, but make sure you're listening then, because we will have a special announcement on the upcoming National Football League season. Thursday at 3. Quality Plumbing sponsoring our first hour. Appreciate them. A name you've trusted since 1984. Their name says it all. Let's talk to Paul next. Hi, Paul.
Hey, Steve, it's Paul Doring here.
Yes, sir.
You said a crying moment. The year 1991, the place, Lexington, Kentucky, the situation. The Gators were about to go down to the lowly Kentucky Wildcats. The clock was ticking down. My head was in my hands, I guess anticipating a loss, a humiliating loss. And my wife said to me, "He's got it." And I thought, he's got it, okay, who's got it and whatnot. I said, who's got it? Who's got what? He said, it's Chris. He's got a touchdown. And, of course, Mick Hubert now has put that down in Gator lore. Doring's got a touchdown, and Doring's got a touchdown. And I must admit, more than one tear streaked down my eyes. And to this day, when I hear Mick say that, those tears are always there. I thought I'd share that with you.
Okay, well, you should. In 1993, that was a big deal. So, you're right, Paul.
Yeah, I had the wrong date, 1993.
Yep, but we all know what you were talking about. I think any Gator fan knows exactly what you were talking about, though.
Yeah. So anyhow, I wanted to share that, and I hope others will share their experiences as well. Thank you, Steve.
Good to hear from you, Paul. Thank you. 1993. Doring's got a touchdown. Mick, that's the other thing. For somebody like me who grew up listening to great broadcasters, sometimes the iconic call sticks in your head. And with that one, it certainly is. That is as iconic as it gets as far as Florida's concerned. Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Scott is there. Hi, Scott.
Hey, Steve, man, I remember the 84 team. That was a credible moment, dude. I grew up playing football in Interlochen High School in 87. And I can, in 84, though, I was a sophomore, and John L. Williams was on that team as a running back, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I played football against him, and he was out of Palatka.
Yes, he was.
And we played a jamboree game, and he was a bad dude. He was rough.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of guys that come out of Palatka High School, Newberry. There was some tough players in them days. I remember I'd play them. I was a sophomore playing against some of them dudes were rough. I was a freshman when I played John Allen. He went there. Oh my Lord! There was so many players, especially the linebackers. Oh my God! I don't even know where you. But yeah, that was a crime moment in '84. I remember going there as a kid, going to the ball. I remember that. That was a great game.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Yep, appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, when you have 3 running backs that were all first-round draft choices, I'm not sure any other school before or since has had that. Maybe they have, but pretty special. That's our first hour of Sports Scene, again, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Hour number 2 coming up. Stay with us. Talk sports with us here on WRUF.
Your home for the Tampa Bay Rays is WRUF.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com and let your brand shine.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before with a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions. Delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it at Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gators sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Light, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Wiebe Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, B&D Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
Welcome into Hour 2 of Sports Scene for this Tuesday. Thank you for making time out of your busy day to join us. Tyler is our producer today. Many thanks to Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour of the show. Sponsoring hour number 2, in part, Domino's Pizza, right in your neighborhood. Nobody delivers like Domino's. Whether you're picking up or ordering delivery, fast, easy, just a click away. You can order now at GatorDomino's.com. We are fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. And we come to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio. From pool enclosures, businesses, to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. They can make your business, your home, your pool area, your yard look really, really good. You can find out more by visiting GatorTrimLight.com. Today, it's a slow day. Let's face it. It's going to be slow from now on, most of the time, right? But because my buddy Tony suggested it, sporting events that made you cry. He emailed back, International Diamond Center email. Tyler, you'll appreciate this. He said, I cried when you used 50 Cent as bump music. What a proud moment. Yeah, I'm sure you did, Tony. I can see those tears just streaming down your cheeks now, big boy. But yeah, a little later on today, South Carolina's hired a new baseball coach, one that's familiar to Gator fans because he coached at Coastal Carolina. Remember that last year? That whole dust up? Well, he's now the coach at South Carolina. Their play-by-play voice, Derek Scott, will talk about that hire at the bottom of the hour. In the meantime, you can call us up, talk a little sports here. You can get a YouTube question in, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. Our Facebook Live questions, courtesy of Ruse Ogre State Farm. All of our calls coming to you on the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line, and all of our emails at srussell@wruf.com, courtesy of International Diamond Center. And remember, check out our daily clip of the day on WRUF, Facebook, and YouTube at WRUF Home of the Gators, brought to you by our friends at Fairlife Milk. All right, let's go to, is it JB?
Yep, it's JB. How you doing,
Hey,
buddy?
how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Listen, I think one of the greatest games I ever saw, well, and I didn't even see it until later because Florida was on probation, and so I only got to listen to it on the radio. But the greatest one, at least one of the greatest comebacks in Florida history, was back in 1986 when Auburn came here to play Florida, and Kerwin Bell brought them down the field, and they scored with like less than a minute to go, to bring the score to 17-16. Auburn was ranked number 2 in the nation. Florida was on probation, and they decided to go for 2, and old Kerwin, he almost got tackled in the backfield, and then he beat a linebacker to the end zone for a 2-point conversion. And I tell you what, there was a lot of screaming and tears going down everybody's face.
Yeah, I mean, remember, Pat Dye was coaching Auburn then, 18-17. They were down till Kerwin came off the bench and won the game for them. Again, if you, before long here, I'm going to do something else which kind of folds into this. If you take away the championship moments, right? In other words, a play that helps cement a national title. I'm going to do the top 5 plays that you remember, regardless of sport, like this one. Okay, didn't win Florida a championship, but it was a terrific play and a memorable play nonetheless. Yep.
And it just, I think it was, in my mind, it proved to anybody that ever had any questions about how dadgum good Kerwin Bell really was to come off the bench. He had hurt his ankle earlier in the game, and as a matter of fact, he had hurt it in the first half, and yet he came off the bench and led them. So in my mind, it solidifies him as probably one of the greatest quarterbacks Florida's ever had.
Yeah, he does not, and I get it in terms of statistics, right? If you started saying, top 3 or 4 quarterbacks of all time, I don't know that Kerwin Bell's name is there. Tebow, obviously. But, as far as his time here and what he did here, given the circumstances surrounding the program at the time, really good. Really good.
It all started though when the first day he ever stepped on the field as the starter. When 3 quarterbacks had gone down in the preseason, and I think he was like the number 4 kid from up there in Bell.
Yeah,
and comes on the field and took the reigning national champions right down to the last minute of the game until it was decided. And yeah, they lost, but. And there are so many times in his career that he did those kind of things. And he's not Tebow and he's not, Werfel. He didn't get a Heisman, but, I don't know that you necessarily have to have a trophy to tell me how great a position player you were. And I think he was one of the best we've ever had.
Okay. Appreciate your call. Thank you, JB.
Thank you.
Yep, you got it. International Diamond Center email Roger about handshakes. Did that yesterday. Pro athletes are role models, whether they like it or not. I would add they're also only playing a game. I would debate that. It is a game, but it's also a business. It's a business. They need to set the example for youth about what's important. Parents should stress this too, but youth look to their pro idols for how to act. Handshakes should be a part of sports. Grow up and be men and women. Well, here's the problem. It's not in every sport. I mentioned this yesterday. They don't do it in football. So, does anybody complain? I've never heard a person complain after a football game, how come they didn't shake hands? Because it isn't done. So to say that, shaking hands after a game is something that's done all the time is just false. It's not. I'm not saying the idea isn't good, but let's be real here. It isn't done in every sport. And he also says about crying, aside from Gator football's first official SEC and the Natties and Hoops Natties, I cried at each of my daughter's D2 lacrosse conference championships. Yeah, that's cool, Roger. That's always cool. And especially when your kids do it, that makes it even better. No doubt about it. Phil emails, and he said, are you going to have Scott Strickland on to answer more questions about the future of the Swamp? Yes, that's our hope. I believe, I could be wrong, when he came on last Friday, he was going to go on an airplane to Omaha because he's on the D1 baseball committee. And I don't know if they have to stay there for the whole thing or not, but we are going to try to get him here one last time to sort of recap, the athletic season, look ahead a little bit, and then take your questions about that. So the answer to your question is yes, we plan on doing that. Mike, hello.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Good.
Well, I guess the most the one that emotionally charged me the most was the first football national championship. It just got to me. But I think the last caller talked about the Kerwin Bell game. I actually got married on the open weekend before that game, and I told my wife, I said, you need to schedule a flight back from Mexico on our honeymoon on Friday. She goes, well, we're staying on Saturday. I said, you can stay on Saturday, but I'm coming back to watch the Auburn-Florida game.
Wow.
And I'd had season tickets for about 4 years by then. But we came back, and I'm glad I did. It's like certain things. The other time I got emotional was when my son hit his first home run.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not a Gator game, but it was special for me.
Of course it is. As a parent, I mean, anything that I would hope for a parent, anything that their child does that is a pretty cool thing, you're going to get emotional about. My daughter was just over my house the other day, and I tell this funny story all the time. I coached my son. And when Jenny was younger, and I tried to get her into different sports, and she just, she tried gymnastics and she tried basketball. And so I said, well, how about softball? And I bought her a glove, and we went out in the street, and I started tossing with her tennis ball. And then I said, you ready for the softball? She said, yes. And I don't know how many, it wasn't very, very long. Caught the ball and broke her nail. She put the glove down on the ground and said, I'm done. I still have the glove. I still have the glove. And then I was hoping my grandkids could use it. Well, Cooper's left-handed, and my kids were right-handed. So I may donate that glove to a young kid someday because, it looks like nobody's going to use it.
Yeah, well, not funny thing, but the special thing is about my youngest son's first home run was I was actually working at the fire department there in Gainesville when my oldest son hit his first home run. And I got to hear it from some other dad explain it to me. And so I got to watch my second son's home run, and that was pretty special. But I appreciate you doing this, Steve. It's something we can talk about during the off season, the talking season, or whatever you want to call it. But I'm glad to see Oklahoma beat Georgia yesterday. That was pretty special for me.
Yeah.
I stayed up and watched it, the whole thing.
A lot of people, I think, are probably thinking the same thing. All right.
Well, that was a great game.
It was a good game. All right, Mike, thank you. That was whether you're rooting for anybody or not, that was a good game. We'll take a break, come back. And then again, bottom of the hour, Derek Scott, play-by-play voice of South Carolina. We'll talk about their new baseball coach. In the meantime, I'd like to hear from you as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. Former Gator tennis player Ben Shelton picked the perfect time to pick up his first career grass court win. As he now prepares for Wimbledon, Shelton takes home a Stuttgart Open title into the third Grand Slam event of the year. He beat fellow American Taylor Fritz in the final on Sunday. It was Shelton's third win of the year.
Thanks to the ball kids. I know you guys saw a lot of missiles coming at you today, so I want to apologize to everyone that I hit this week. I'm pretty sure it's most of you, so I'm sorry about that.
For more on Gator tennis, read on WRUF.com. Gator baseball hired Rich Dorman as their new pitching coach. In Dorman's 7 years coaching Oregon State, he had over 10 of his pitchers earn All-American honors. The Tampa Bay Rays seek to re-enter the win column against the LA Dodgers. Tonight's game will be played in Dodger Stadium. For live coverage, tune in at 9:30 on WRUF.com.
Hey, it's Steve Russell for Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. Friends, they've been in business for 45-plus years, and the Cousins family has done just one thing, but man, they've done it right. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late-model, low-mileage vehicles. I'm driving one right now, have been for a very long time. They've treated me right. They'll do the same thing for you. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
At International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Connecting with WRUF at Sports Scene just got easier. Call, email, watch on YouTube or Facebook Live. And now text us on the B&D Electric text line at 352-325-3777. That's 352-325-3777. Gator baseball fans, don't miss On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardoso live every Monday at 1 on WRUF. Get baseball and softball breakdowns, player analysis, and SEC previews. Listen live or anytime on the WRUF app, YouTube, or Facebook. On Deck, it's a hit.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Wait, is that Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho, you think Brazil will win it all this summer?
Claro que sí.
Can I just say, you're my favorite player ever.
Bet all of soccer's biggest matches this summer on Hard Rock Bet. And keep your cool in case you run into Ronaldinho. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and back your country. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Later on in the week, one of my former students, Savannah Collins, is working with the AUSL, and a lot of Gator players are in that league. There you can see them on ESPN all the time, and she'll tell you what's going on with the league and how many Gator players are in it and all of that. She'll be with us later in the week. Blake Alderman will be here, another one of my former students, who is going to talk about Gator football recruiting and how well Florida has done so far. And we are hoping to have Tammy Reese, the new Florida women's basketball coach, here in studio tomorrow to take your questions, calls, and comments. Before going any further, I want to tell you about a great new bank, Gala Bank, Gainesville's only local bank. 350 years of combined service, and they will help you with your banking needs. No appointments are necessary. They don't have call centers, and you don't have to sign a sheet when you walk in the door. And if you have a check, even if you're not a member of Gala Bank, they will cash it at no extra charge. Gala Bank's at 7515 West University Avenue off of Tower Road. Member FDIC. International Diamond Center email, Brian. Top 5 moments I can remember, excluding winning championships. Doug Johnson to Jacquez Green, 97 versus FSU. Dorian's got a touchdown, Kentucky. Heave to Cleve. Yeah, remember Tennessee? Tebow's jump pass against LSU. And to the Florida-Georgia 1992 rain game and the stop on fourth down. And he adds a sports crying moment. January 2007, sitting in a tiny wood hut while deployed in Afghanistan, watching Florida beat Ohio State on a 13-inch TV with a few other Gator fans. That one hit all of us who were present. And again, sure it did, Brian. Thanks for sharing that. All right, until we get Derek here, still have time for you. 392-8255. You can email srussell@wruf.com. Don't forget, Thursday, 3 p.m., make sure and be tuned in here for a special announcement on the upcoming National Football League season. Thursday at 3. And don't forget, tonight, Rays and the Los Angeles Dodgers, 9:30. And then we'll have the afternoon game coming up tomorrow as the Rays continue their West Coast swing. And they're kind of coming back down to earth a little bit. But still, they've had a really, really good first half of the year. Probably expectations better than what most people had thought. So that is certainly a good thing. All right, a couple of emails here. Frank, he said, will Coach Reese take questions? Yes, I would imagine she would. I'm certainly going to ask her that. And that's part of the reason why I want her to hear, so that you can ask questions of her. And again, she's supposed to be here tomorrow in the 1 o'clock hour. Ron emails, and he says, do you have a team that you want to win the College World Series? No. Look, I know a lot of Gator fans don't want Georgia to win it. But I'm impressed with the OU run. I'm telling you, unless you saw them in person when Jeff and I did when we were in Norman doing the broadcasts, Florida took 2 out of 3, and they were bad. And they at the time were struggling to make the SEC tournament, let alone the NCAA tournament. So they got hot at the right time. And obviously, they're playing their best baseball right now. And good for them. I mean, give them a lot of credit. They got a really good coach there, and they've done a nice job. Brandon. Long email, Brandon. He basically says, he's asking how much of a difference the new pitching coach can make. We'll see. I mean, look, his track record is really good, Brandon. Really good. Now, you got to prove it. You got to go in this league and prove it. But I think it's a really good hire. And, we will see what happens from here. Hate to see David Kopp go. Hate to see Taylor Black go. 2 good dudes. But hopefully, good things in the future for them as well. Let's talk to Daryl here. Hi, Daryl.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Good.
The 2 sports, softball and baseball, what do you see where they need to fill some holes, maybe with baseball, position-wise? I know, realize I thought we've always given, to me, Kevin O'Sullivan was that pitching coach, the pitching guru. I didn't know we had a pitching coach until they said we let the coach go. I didn't realize that. So it was always, the credit was all, to me, it was always going to Coach O'Sullivan. So what do you think need to fill some gaps or some holes in both of those sports?
Well,
I don't know if you analyzed that yet.
I haven't totally, but more so baseball than softball, just because baseball ended later.
Right.
Obviously, Florida only had one left-handed pitcher they could rely on.
Okay.
That they trusted, right? And Lugo Canciolo's gone. So they've got to get, and they're already in the process of getting more left-handers on the staff. That was the glaring need I thought Florida had. Now, Curlin's gone, so you got to replace, at second base. But positionally, we don't know yet because of the draft. And that's the wild card here, Daryl. Because if Surwick goes, well, then you have a hole to fill there, right? So until we see, because he's draft eligible, so until we see who's in the draft and what happens in the draft, kind of have to wait a little bit. But, they replaced Carson Bowen, who's gone. They've gotten a pitcher in the portal, and more's coming, I'm telling you. But they have to wait a little bit to see, what will happen in the draft.
What about shortstop? You think is that good for next year? I know
I don't see Lawson moving. I think he stays there. Now, look, is anything possible if they got, the best shortstop in the portal? Could they think about moving him? Yeah, but I don't think that.
Well, a young man that got hurt during the preseason, the outfielder they brought in through the portal.
Yep.
Is he returning?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And Kyle Jones is in the draft too. So again, we got to wait to see, what happens with him.
Okay. And softball, is it pitching?
Well, they got a good pitcher coming in here.
Right.
So, and again, you didn't have Ava Brown for a lot of the year. So if you assume health and, better, then, they got some pitching help coming in, you would think that would be better.
So what's her, is she a junior, Ava Brown? So she comes back?
I don't know. I don't want to say what she is without looking it up. But but again, I think, you always have players to replace, but Tim's done a pretty nice job of that. And I suspect they'll be really good again next year.
I see Texas Tech going and got the lefty from LSU. They're startup pitcher.
Well, I mean, they have money to spend.
Right, and they do it.
They do it.
Steve.
All right,
yes,
thank you, Dale. Appreciate you. We'll take a break, and South Carolina has a new baseball coach. Their play-by-play voice, Derek Scott, will tell you who that is and how they got him and the expectations with that hire. Coming up next, as you listen to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator Sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Summer is here. This summer, don't let pain or lingering injuries hold you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Summer's back, and so is IDC's most popular offer ever. 0% financing for 5 years. Now through June 30th, you can make any purchase at International Diamond Center and spread your payments out to 2031 without paying a dime in interest. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants. Our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. International Diamond Center at Celebration Point. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com on approved credit.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Soccer Sticker Fever is here at Miapa. Every Wednesday from 4 to 9 p.m., bring the family for Soccer Sticker Trading Night. Trade the stickers you're missing, pick up albums and sticker packs, and connect with fellow collectors. And kids ages 3 to 10 eat free with a paid adult entree. While the kids enjoy dinner, treat yourself to the best Cuban food north of Miami and delicious Cuban coffee at any of our 6 convenient locations. Miapa Soccer Sticker Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, 4 to 9 p.m.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
WRUF, where Gator Nation comes alive. 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Sensei Asian Bistro, now open in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, bringing bold Japanese French fusion flavors you won't find any place else. It's the premier date night, and it's a great place to eat as well. Remember, Sensei Asian Bistro, where elevated dining meets unforgettable nights. Make your reservations today. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Again, all of our guests come to you courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Meldon Law won't back down. Good friend, Derek Scott, play-by-play voice of the South Carolina Gamecocks, joining us here now. We all know what's happening now, the College World Series going on in baseball, but rot for the teams not in it. It's either getting players, losing players, and in South Carolina's case, Derek Scott, getting a new coach. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Okay, Gator fans listening here, the choice, when we saw each other at the SEC tournament, we suspected this was going to happen. So this selection was not a surprise, was it?
No, it was not. If anything, I think there were some concerns at one point that it wasn't happening
really
as quickly as some fans thought that it should happen, and they took that to mean there might be a problem. But I think in reality, Jeremiah Donati just really wanted to be methodical and not just lock into one particular candidate. But eventually it did come back around to the one that most folks suspected from the onset, and that was Kevin Schnall, who was the sitting head coach at Coastal Carolina.
Of course, Gator fans are familiar with him from last year.
Yes.
But in your view, Derek, what does he bring to the table for Carolina?
He brings I think as much as anything, a familiarity with the state and understanding of what kind of recruiting can be done from within the state boundaries, and therefore what you have to go outside of the state to do. I think that's something that had really been lost in this program over the last, close to a decade. When this team was at its best, you were still getting a lot of players from in-state, and you didn't necessarily have to live and die with that, but it was a really good base that you worked off of, and that we've gotten away from that here. And I think Coach Schnall was very quick to emphasize how important that is. He's done a lot of in-state work at Coastal, and so he will bring that. He's got unbelievable relationships around the state with coaches, and so that's, I think, very much a factor in what will give him a leg up on this job. And then on top of that, he's managed to take a Sunbelt team to the National Championship Series, and that's something that is not easily done, but it also, I think, will certainly give him credibility with what it takes to do it here in the SEC.
Derek, is there expectation kids from Coastal will come to Carolina now?
Oh, it goes beyond expectation. There's already we're close to 9, I think, commitments in terms of that. I mean, you know, I'm just scanning the list I know of for sure. Right out of the chute, you've got 5 pitchers, a catcher, a two-way guy, and then since that list was compiled a few days back, there have been a couple more arms that is committed. You've got Hayden Johnson, who was in that weekend rotation last year, and pitched very well on the big stage, missed most all of this season with injury. Then you've got Dominic Carbone, who was a preseason All-American before he had to shut it down this year due to injuries, and he's another guy that has committed more recently. So, yeah, there's a fair amount of Chanticleer transition that will be going on beyond just the coaching staff.
I'll ask you to speak for the Carolina fan base here. I would imagine they're pretty happy with the hire.
Yeah, they are. And you know, Steve, Friday evening we had an introduction at Founders Park, and it wasn't. I was asked, "Hey, you need to MC this." Great. What time that afternoon do I need to be there? No, not that afternoon. We're doing this at 8:30, and my initial reaction was, "Wait, what?" and then I was told, "Yeah, they want to have fireworks." I'm like, "Well, I guess you can't really make much use of fireworks during the day."
True.
So they opened up the ballpark. It was obvious it wasn't just for the donors. I thought that was a great move. This was for fans, and they had free concessions, and they had T-shirt giveaways with Schnallball written on it. And then when the time came for me to introduce the coach, I had to time it up right because he was arriving in the outfield in a helicopter. Wow. I mean, they pulled out all the stops on this thing, and it ended up being a great atmosphere and a really fun event. And yeah, I think that the response we saw from the audience was indicative of that excitement level. And then in hindsight, thank God we did it at night because it was 100 degrees.
Yeah, during the day, that would not be good. I'm with you there. Look, we all know, you can hire whoever, but in this world of NIL, that is a big part of the equation here. We have talked. Will Carolina make a better commitment NIL-wise to baseball?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think they made a bad commitment before. If you look at the difference between basketball and baseball and say, where's the problem?
Okay.
With basketball, it was unquestionably the lack of NIL funds, the fact that we were DFL in the league in terms of what we had to spend, and so far behind everybody else that the Lamont Paris had no chance. With baseball, that wasn't it, man. I mean, they may not have been spending what Texas or Mississippi State was, but they were outspending a lot of teams that were winning a lot more than they were. So I don't think that it's a resource kind of question. It's just a matter of making better use of those resources. I'm not saying it won't be going up somewhat, but I don't know that that's something that Coach Schnall walked in here saying, hey, priority one is you got to give me more to work with than you gave the last staff. I don't think that's been at issue at all. It's just there's got to be better evals. You've got to do a better job of identifying the talent and bringing it in. And we all know it's not easy. There's some stories of some big misses on just about every campus in this league in the last couple of years. It happens, but it definitely needs to happen a lot less here.
Derek Scott with us, play-by-play voice of South Carolina, talking about the new hire in baseball that comes from right across the state, Coastal Carolina. It's funny. I thought of you the other day. When we were at the SEC tournament, and here's Oklahoma, just much like Troy, right? Just a red-hot team. When we were in Alabama at Hoover, I'm thinking, they kind of limped. I mean, they had to get hot just to make the postseason. Yeah. And here they are. I mean, it's an incredible run they're making, isn't it? It's
crazy. When they went to Georgia Tech for that regional, and my predecessor here, Andy Demetra, was asking me about them. And I'm telling him all this stuff about what I saw during the season, and then he had to be thinking I had no clue about the Sooners because, those freshman arms, the way that they have turned it on in the postseason has been amazing.
Yes.
To roll through Atlanta's regional like they did, and then what they've done these first two nights out in Omaha, I'm astounded by it. I truly am.
Who do you like in the series now?
Well, I mean, that's the key word, right?
Now is right.
I'd said from the beginning it was Texas or Georgia to win it, and that North Carolina would be the team on the other side of the bracket, because the other side of the bracket looked much easier than the side that had Georgia and Texas stacked up head-to-head on Saturday night. But now, I mean, it's hard to argue against Oklahoma. I guess at this point, just because of the ease with which I think they'll have to get there, I might be leaning more towards the Tar Heels at this point in time.
Yeah, who'd have thought? Always a pleasure to have you, my friend. Appreciate you. Enjoy your summer, and we'll talk soon.
You do the same. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Derek. Yep, good dude. Play-by-play voice of South Carolina, Derek Scott, joining us here, talking about the hire of Kevin Schnall from Coastal. And you heard him say he's got a ton of players already coming from Coastal over to the Carolina Gamecocks. International Diamond Center email, BB, Oklahoma and Florida baseball demonstrates a Jerry Reed lyric. When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. Yeah, 1971, Jerry Reed. It seems like you dropped a few hints. You're taking some of the summer off. Yeah, we always do. What do you think about the summer schedule to be? We'll announce that in the coming days. But we're going to take some time off. We all are. He said some of us have some summertime questions for you involving both sports and music. We'll be here through the month of June. I can assure you of that, BB. So that I can tell you. Mike, glad to see Gator Baseball getting a new pitching coach. I called for that weeks ago. Pitching down the stretch was abysmal. Well, you got your wish, Mike. And now we'll see what that new pitching coach will do. I mean, you look, like I said earlier, his credentials are really good, but you never know till you get here. It's a different league, but I do like the hire. He's also a good recruiter. And that's the other thing I think that's been missing here. And he spent 7 years at Oregon State. And this year, the nation's top staff in terms of ERA and WHIP this past year. I looked it up, he's had 15 MLB draft picks, and according to the release, 10 different pitchers have been All-Americans. 3 this year alone. He's also had a National Pitcher of the Year in his time. So again, the credentials are there, and the hope is that he works out. I think he's got a great chance to do that. Paul emails. He said, Steve, are you hinting you're going to be gone for the summer? No, I'm not going to be gone. Look, when I was teaching, and I mean, we took vacation. Now, you're allowed to do that, you know. We're going to just take a little longer one this time. And again, you're talking about a time of the year here in this town when it is DEAD, dead. So, but we're going to stick around until the end of June and College World Series and all of that. So, never fear. Sports Scene and Company are here. We'll take a break, come back. Last segment coming up. Still time to hear from you. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. Gator Baseball has hired a new pitching coach named Rich Dorman. Dorman's coaching resume includes a 7-year stint with Oregon State, where 10 of his pitchers received All-American honors. Left-handed pitcher Trey Morris, who was coached by Dorman at Oregon State, entered the transfer portal once UF made the Dorman announcement. For more on the Dorman news, read on WRUF.com. The Tampa Bay Rays lost a close game to the LA Dodgers yesterday. The final score was 4-3. Tampa Bay has a chance to get payback tonight in Dodger Stadium. For full coverage of tonight's game, tune in at 9:30 on WRUF. Florida Track and Field ended the season over the weekend with a second-place finish at Nationals in Eugene. This means the college national title streak is over. Every year since 2009, at least one Gators team had won a national championship. For more on Gator Track and Field, read on WRUF.com.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
It's the Battle of the Trucks at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. The Chevy Silverado 1500 strikes first with 0% financing for 60 months. The 26 GMC Sierra strikes back with 0% financing for 60 months plus no monthly payments for 130 days. Come see us today at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $69.99 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and doc. $16.66 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before. With a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions. Delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it. At Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
In a world of big banks, there's only one truly local choice in Gainesville, Gala Bank. Locally owned and operated, Gala Bank is built by people who live here, work here, and care about this community. With over 350 years of combined banking experience, you'll always get trusted guidance and personal service you can count on. And with convenient 7 to 7 hours, Monday through Saturday, banking works around your schedule, not the other way around. Local bank, local people. Gala Bank. Member FDIC.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy Chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Clouds and sun for us today. High temperatures in the low 90s. Feels like temperatures near 100. A breeze gusting to 20 miles an hour at times this afternoon. Numerous showers and thunderstorms along the I-10 corridor this afternoon and evening, and farther south, scattered storms developing along the Gulf Coast and tracking eastward toward the Atlantic. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
The John Sumrall era begins this September. Catch every game right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM. We are your home for Gator sports.
It's amazing what sticks in your head. That song is from 1966. And I can remember watching Ed Sullivan as a kid when the Stones were on there, and Brian Jones sitting on the ground playing the sitar. And when they performed that song, I could see it like it was yesterday. And the sitar is something in rock that just wasn't done a lot, and it was a pretty cool. I thought it was, how cool is that? It had a pretty cool sound too. I love music. Just do. Except, I must tell you, my kids tell me this all the time. When I did my oldies show, I did it for years here, and my frame of reference in music probably stops in the 90s. I mean, I would know who was releasing an album or, whatever, or who was popular. Now, okay. But I think that happens to a lot of people, not just me. But I wish I could do it. Anyway, we'll deal with that another time. But music is really cool. Later on in the week, again, tomorrow we hope to have Florida women's basketball coach Tammy Reese here, live in studio. Blake Alderman later in the week. We'll talk Gator football recruiting. Savannah Collins will talk AUSL and some of the Gator players involved in that softball league. So that will be a pretty cool thing. Let's get to Porter. He'll be our last caller of the day. Porter, hello.
Hey, you said something earlier, and I got to thinking to me. I hadn't really thought about it that way, and that's Curlin Bell may not get the credit he deserves. As a Gator quarterback elite, and maybe I'm sort of thinking like that. I thought of think of him as a great Gator and that kind of thing, but maybe because of how talented the team was around him and so forth, that he maybe not can get the credit. I mean, and it was, in high school, it was the same way because he was at Mayo. I remember my first experience was doing the chains as a little kid. And they beat us 60-6, and all he did was hand the ball to Larry Edwards and Joseph Edwards, who ran wild. Our 6 points was by Brett Wickman, who went on to be a teammate of his later on. But somebody mentioned the Auburn 2-point conversion. I had tickets for row 1, and it's the only time I ever had row 1. Man, this would be great. I couldn't see anything the whole game, but the 2-point conversion was in the south end zone towards the east stands, and it was right in front of me. That was the one play I got to see. And I remember a couple of years later, they had a seismograph, whatever, at the University of Florida. They put in one of the national seismographs, and they showed us. We went in. They showed us the hurricane level of that moment, and it was, I forget the number, but it was like a 3-point something hurricane, just right when everyone was cheering at that point. It was the largest at that point, the largest registered impact of the swamp that they'd measured, but. Anyhow, good memories, and great to bring it up, Steve. Thanks.
Okay. Yep. Be safe. Thank you, Porter. Mark emailed. Remember when I was talking about the Gators having that the '84 team having in the same backfield Neil Anderson, John L. Williams, Lorenzo Hampton, 3 first-round draft choices. He says USC had Ricky Bell, Charles White, and Marcus Allen. I don't know if they were all on the same team, but I can look that up. But I get your point. Because Charles White, I believe, won the Heisman, in 79? And Marcus Allen was – but anyway, that is certainly in the same ballpark, Mark, so thank you for that. One final email. From Phil. He said, Steve, I want to give you a compliment. I always love your interviews. You ask great questions. You get good answers from your interviews. Where did you learn the skill? In the College of Journalism and Communications at the University of Florida. That's where I learned that skill, by God. I did, really. I mean, and I've always liked that. I've always enjoyed doing interviews, too. I've always enjoyed that part of doing a show because I learn a lot. I try to do it, and every time I do an interview, I want to learn something. And I hope that comes across. Don't forget tonight, Rays baseball right here at 9:30. Thanks to Tyler for producing the show today. Don't forget, Kevin and the Sports Lab gang are up next. Do not move your radio dial. We will see you tomorrow for a Wednesday edition of Sports Scene. You're listening to WRUF. See you tomorrow.
No, I
John Sumrall era begins this September, right here on WRUF.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their meatball sub with fries or onion rings, topped with the house sauce and lots of melted mozzarella.
This is Steve